Hey kids, let's look at the book of 1 Samuel. It's called 1 Samuel because it's one of two, but actually, originally, it was the same book. It was just called Samuel, and it contained all of the content in both books. Now, Samuel is the link between the book of Judges and the books of Kings, because Samuel was the final judge of Israel. The book of 1 Samuel is really simple because it tells stories of kingship. First, it tells the story of Samuel, who's called in the night by God himself. Then it tells the story of Samuel and Saul. That's in chapters 9 through 15. Saul is the king that the people wanted. You see, God wanted to be Israel's king, but the people wanted a king so that they could be like the other nations. So God gave them and chose Saul. Then in chapters 16 through 31, it's the story of Samuel, Saul, and David. And this is the part where the story gets really interesting. God rejects Saul from being king. Samuel anoints David as king. Saul's daughter is in love with David. Saul's son is David's best friend. And when David plays the harp, demons fly away from Saul. But Saul still hates David because David is the king after God's own heart. And so the story goes through a lot of really interesting and different parts, but the majority of it is the story of how Samuel became the last judge, Saul became the first king, and then David became the greatest king. Oh, and also, of course, there's the legendary story where David defeats Goliath. I'm sure you guys have heard that one in kids' church before. Another fun thing about the book of Samuel is that a lot of Psalms were written during the books of 1 and 2 Samuel. Like Psalm 59 was written during 1 Samuel 19, the one that says, "O my strength, God, you are my fortress." Or like Psalm 52 that was written during 1 Samuel 21, where David says, "I'm like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the love of God forever." And so remember, as we're looking through the Old Testament, we see the stories of the covenants coming to fruition. Now we have the covenant with Eve that her descendant will crush Satan. That's Jesus, and he's coming through the line of David. We have Moses' covenant, and we see Saul disobey and be cursed, and David obey and be blessed. We have the covenant with Abraham for a people and a land. Well, this is that people, and they're in that land. And now we have David, and in the next book, 2 Samuel, we have the covenant that starts with David, which is one of the greatest parts of the whole Bible. Okay, now let's do our overview together. Boys say the blue, all say the white, and girls say the red. Okay, ready? God's law, Genesis through Deuteronomy. Obey. God's nation, Joshua through Esther. Learn. God's wisdom, Job through Song of Solomon. Think. God's prophets, Isaiah through Malachi. Listen. God's Son, Matthew through John. Believe. God's church, Acts through Revelation. Go, and the whole thing, God's word, the Bible, live. Kids, thanks for watching. We're going to keep going through the Bible in the next video.